Hello Prep 3, I hope you are fine. I'm very happy to be with you again. This is Mr. Ayman with you to complete Unit 13. In the last episode we studied the grammar, and now with part 2, the reading text and the vocabulary. At the observatory. At the observatory. The observatory is the place from which you can see the space. We have a lot of words, a lot of expressions, a lot of phrasal verbs. Try to pause the video and read these words carefully. After reading, I will have a quick look about these words with you. Now, let's go together to the reading text. This is the reading text, and we will look at most of these words. Okay? The astronomy, your questions answered. We asked you to send your questions about the solar system for our team of astronomers here at the observatory. Here are the answers. We have an interview with an astronomer to answer some questions about the planets. Okay? The first question. How many planets are there in our solar system? This is a direct question. To change this question to the indirect form, Eunice asked how many planets there were in our solar system. There are 8. They are all different sizes. The biggest planet is 1,000 times bigger than Earth. 3 of the planets are smaller than the Earth. The second question. Do all the planets have moons? I asked if all the planets had moons. Full stop, not a question mark. Only 2 planets in the solar system don't have any moons. But 1 planet has 62 moons and 1 has 67. The Earth's moon is round, but many of the other moons are different shapes and sizes. So, what is a shooting star? Judy asked what a shooting star was. Shooting stars are not stars. A shooting star is a small piece of rock. A shooting star is a small piece of rock that's traveling through space. As it moves, it gets hotter. It usually burns and disappears before it falls onto the earth. The last question. Is it hot or cold on the moon? Ziad asked if it was hot or cold on the moon. When the sun shines on the moon, it's very hot. It's around 123 degrees. The side of the moon that is not in the sun is freezing at around minus 153 degrees. Listen to the teacher while he is talking with the boys and girls in his class. The teacher: thank you very much for that interesting talk about astronomy, Professor. Could you possibly answer some of the students' questions? The professor: of course. What would they like? What would they like to know? The first question from girl number 1. Could you please explain to me why I can't feel the earth turn? The professor: yeah, it's interesting that we can't feel the earth moving. The earth turns around itself about 1,670 kilometers an hour and more than 100,000 kilometers an hour around the sun. The most important thing to remember about this is that when something is moving all the time, you can't feel it, like when you are on a train. Are you following me? Girl number 1, yeah. Thank you, Professor. Girl number 2. I wonder if you could tell me what a star is made of. A star is made of gas. And there is another interesting fact about stars. Did you know that the sun is a star? It's the only star in our solar system. Girl number 2, I didn't know that. Thank you, Professor. Teacher, any more question? Yes, Salma. Salma is the girl number 3. I'd like to know if you like your job. Oh, I love my job. But like many astronomers, of course, the astronomer is the person who goes into space to make a lot of discoveries. But like many astronomers these days, most of my working hours are in front of a computer. My favorite part of the job is when I use the telescope at an observatory, because then I look at thousands of stars. It's a beautiful thing to see. Girl number 4, do you think that we could come and see the observatory one day? Professor, yes, of course. Let me speak to your teacher and we will see what we can do about a visit. This is the whole lesson. If we want to have a quick look on some very important words which we studied, I think most of these words are not new. Observatory, try to repeat after me, astronomy, solar system, a team of astronomers, planets, different size, earth, shapes, shooting star, stars, a piece of rock, space, get hotter, burns, disappear, fall into, shine on, around, degree, side, freezing, minus, plus, false, solar eclipse, telescope. Lesson 3 and 4. Try to repeat after me. Turn, wonder, fact, likes, professor, following, in front of, favorite, part of, missing, knowledge. Share, importance, polite, object, meteorite, event, probably, sky, light, tiny, clouds, enormous, finally, vegetables, possible, idea, relatives, research, reply, fiction, atmosphere, and temperature. We have a lot of definitions. Anything, any possible thing or event. To explain something is to make something easy to understand. The observatory is the building from which scientists watch space. Polite, speaking and behaving in a nice way. Wonder, want to know. We have some important questions. It's a must to stop here and try to know the difference between plants, planets, stars, and stars. Include and contain, astronomer and astrologer. Tiny, the opposite is huge. Wonder means ask, wander means walking around. Solar, lunar, degree, agree, minus, and plus. Our solar system includes the sun and some planets, but when something inside another big container, it contains it. The bag contains a lot of bugs because these bugs are inside the bag. Try to pause here and to revise with yourself these expressions and structures. Now let's go to the exercise to check whatever we understood the lesson or not. First of all, we have a dialogue between Nora and astronomer. Can I ask you a question? The astronomer, can I ask you some question? The astronomer, of course you can. Here we have so many different answers. With pleasure, No problem. Of course. Nora asked her question and the astronomer answered, there are 8 planets in our solar system. Of course, Nora will ask, how many planets are there in our solar system? Nora asked the question, no, not all the planets have moons. So Nora's question was, do all planets have moons? Nora, thank you very much. The astronomer, you are welcome. Right, what would you say in each of the following situations? When you ask your sister to open the window, it's a polite question. Can you open the window, please? Would you like to open the window, please? Your father asks you to bring him some water. When you bring your father some water, you will say, here you are. You are asked to close the door. What will you say? Of course, no problem. I'll do that. You ask your friend politely to lend you his book, his pen. Can you lend me your pen, please? You want your brother to help you. Can you help me, please? Choose the correct answer. The Earth is one of 8 spaces in our solar system. Planets, planes, plants, plans. Number 8, planets. Number 2, space is the study of the stars. Farming, astrology, astronomy, and industry. The study of the stars is astrology, not astronomy. Number 3, Hassan is very interested in space and he wanted to be an nurse, dentist, farmer, or astronomer. Of course, the person who is interested in space is astronomer. Number 3, at night in the desert you can sometimes see space which disappears very quickly. The sun at night, camels, shooting stars, or moons. Excellent. Shooting stars are the stars which appears in the desert at night and it disappears very quickly. Number 5, the Science Museum has a space of rock from the moon. A bike, a piece, a pack, a bottle. Excellent. Number B, a piece of rock. Number 5, in Cairo it's usually about 14 space in January. Agree, degrees, puts and shots. Excellent. 14 degrees. Number 6, our space includes the sun and some planets. Our solar system, of course. Number 8, some of the planets have space. Some of the planets have friends, have moons, have planets, have nuns. Excellent. Some of the planets have moons. Number 8, space can look at the planets and the stars through a telescope. Dentist, farmer, astrologer, or astronomer. Astronomers can look at the planets and stars through a telescope. Number 9, the biggest object in our solar system is the sun. Very good. The Earth space around the sun stops, turns, falls, or freezes. The Earth turns around the sun. Some stars, number 11, are made of gas, rockets, metal, or paper. Number 8, some stars are made of gas. Number 12, there are 8 space moving around the sun. 8 planets, sun, plays, or pools. 8 planets. Number 13. To make something easy to understand is to explain. Number C. If you are space, you speak and behave in a nice way. If you are polite. If you are polite. Number 15. Space means you want to know why. Lie, wonder, wander, die. Number B. Wonder. Ask if you want to know why. A space is a building from which scientists watch space. An observatory. An observatory. Number 17. An observatory. Number 17. Could you space answer some questions for me? Could you possibly, possible, impossible, or probable? We want an adverb to describe the verb. Could you possibly answer some questions for me? Number 8. 18. Moons go around planets, stars, or planets or stars. Moons go around stars. Moons go around the planets. It is not stars. Planets. Number 19. The sun is a star in our solar system, not sister. Okay. Number 20. A space star is a piece of rock that moves quickly through space. A laughing, a happy, a flying, or a shooting star. Excellent. It's a shooting star. On some planets, it's more than 400 degrees hot, shot, or agrees. He's talking about the temperature. It's more than 400 degrees. Moons are different shapes and sizes, rises, shops, or ships. Number A, different shapes and sizes. 23. When the sun, space on the moon, it's very hot. Shots, looks, shines, likes. Excellent. Shines on the moon. 24. The side of the moon is freezing at around minus 153 degrees. Could you explain why we can't feel the earth turn, sleep, speak, or swim? Number 8. Turn. 26. The earth turns itself at about 1670 kilometers an hour. Are you space me pupils? Are you following, follow, or followed? Excellent. Are you following me? 28. I space. If you could tell me what a star made of, I wonder. WONDER. 29. There are many interesting space about stars. There are many interesting facts. My favorite part of the job is when I use the space to look at the stars. When I use that telescope to look at the stars. That's the whole unit. We finished our unit, and we will meet again to study together the last unit, number 14. Waiting for you. Thanks. Goodbye.